This is what pisses me off about Cecil the Lion. Posing with dead animals that you shot while they were imprisoned in a pen doesn't make you a real man. It makes you a reprehensible prick. Trophy hunting just discredits real hunting. Real hunting takes skill and craft. Trophy hunting is just shooting fish in a barrel. Surely there's a better way for people like Walter Palmer to release their frustration at having a micro penis than butchering beautiful endangered animals. But what's just as alarming as the tragic death of Cecil the Lion is the ability of Twitter outrage mobs and the mass media to generate such rabid hysteria within such a short period of time. And as per usual, it's laced with the most rampant hypocrisy imaginable. Take PETA, for example, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. They wasted no time whatsoever in grandstanding over the death of Cecil the Lion, accusing Palmer of lacking empathy, understanding and respect for living creatures. Because PETA really is the shining example of treating living creatures with respect, right? That's why they murder 96% of the animals that come through their door. PETA really cares about Cecil's common cat ancestors. That's why they use your donations to kill perfectly healthy kittens and dump them in garbage bags. Getting lectured by PETA over Cecil the Lion is like getting lectured by an abattoir owner about eating beef. This is what pisses me off. PETA, your entire business model revolves around slaughtering healthy, defenseless animals. So don't you dare try to attract sympathy dollars by sticking up for Cecil the Lion. You fucking hypocrites! But what of the Orwellian 2 minutes of hate that forced Walter Palmer to go into hiding? Again, we see the frightening ability of Twitter and the mainstream media to manipulate people into an instant frenzy. Yes, this is an outrage, but notice how you'll never see any kind of coordinated outrage directed towards individuals, institutions, or practices that are actually screwing over humanity as a whole. If only big banks like HSBC had received a shred of the condemnation directed towards Walter Palmer for their illegal money laundering for arms and drug dealers, a practice that has destroyed untold thousands of lives. If only liberals in the West showed the same concern for the 30,000 Zimbabweans slaughtered by Mugabe's death squads as they do Cecil the Lion. And this was a typical response to the story. Quote, "He should have had his legs broken and then left out in the middle of the reserve for the lions to hunt him." Now, of course, Palmer should be punished to the full extent of the law. But is this how we show our so-called humanity? By expressing the desire to see a fellow human being eaten alive by lions? And why is it only liberals who get a free pass to make death threats, so long as everyone is sufficiently outraged? Piers Morgan wrote of his plan to hunt down Palmer, skin him alive, and behead him ISIS style. PETA President Ingrid Newkirk called for Palmer to be hanged. Really? Is this how we display our enlightened, compassionate human nature? By sharing the same bloodthirsty disregard for life that led Palmer to kill Cecil the Lion in the first place? How can we be kind to animals when this is what we're prepared to do to each other? Now imagine if a pregnant woman had posted a picture of herself on the internet about to undergo a late-term abortion. Then imagine if thousands of right-wing Christians had threatened to reveal her address, hunt her down, and decapitate her. Do you think the hashtag hipsters would get behind that? Imagine if there was a huge shadowy organisation funded by the US government that was selling the body parts of aborted babies. Oh yeah, that just happened, and hardly anyone gave a shit. In fact, American news networks gave Cecil the Lion more coverage in one day than the Planned Parenthood videos got in 2 weeks. Imagine if there was an evil doctor killing babies after they were born, literally allowing newborn babies to swim around in toilets before butchering them. Oh yeah, that actually happened too, but there was no Twitter shaming crusade directed against Kermit Gosnell, and it took 56 days for all 3 US broadcast networks to even report on it. Because apparently our compassionate humanism means that we care more about big cats than we do actual defenseless human babies. And that's what pisses me off about Cecil the Lion. Check out the other videos, subscribe to the channel. I'm Paul Joseph Watson for Infowars.com.